So, obviously this situation happened a couple of days ago now, and it was awful and terrible, and I wasn't actually going to talk about it. I thought, let the news be the news. But when someone has done something good, they should be remembered for what they've done. And this guy has had a huge impact on culture in the world and world football. Anyone who would deny that fact, I'll fight you. But no, on a serious note, you have to be crazy to not accept that, because what Mr. Srivaddhanaprabha did, he said and he proved that anything is possible. Anyone can do anything. And your only limitation is yourself. And I think the fact that this man, this legend, now, let's just look at it on it's a positive outlook. This man who has made such a change in British football, world football culture, which is the biggest sport in the world. And he won the biggest title in the world, bar the Champions League and the World Cup. What he did is unbelievable. It's unthinkable. I didn't think it was possible. I remember when Leicester came into the league in 2014, they just won the championship. And this guy, this mad lad chairman guy, came in and was like, I think my team, we can be in the top 5 in 3 years. It might take 3 years, but we'll be in the top 5 in 3 years. I looked at that and I just thought, wow, Leicester City, they are going to go down. They're going to get relegated. So then the season went on and they were struggling, and I was like, I knew it was going to happen. I knew they'd struggle. This man was crazy. And then at the end of the season, they go on this crazy run of form, and if they'd had that run of form through the year, they would have been in the top 4 that year. In the last 8 games, they had some crazy point tally, and they saved themselves in that first season. The second season comes around, 2015-16, and somehow every other team mucks up so badly. I'm not taking anything away from Leicester here. Every other team mucks up so badly that Leicester are just like, we're just going to go and do it. And somehow they won the Premier League. In the second season, the team was so well managed. They had a couple of amazing players over the last couple of years, like Mahrez, Vardy, Harry Maguire. You know, it's a squad that seems like it's nothing really on the outside. But when you get in there, and when that team came together in 2015-16, it was something which was almost palpable. And you might say it was a lucky season, you know, and maybe that's so. They haven't really done that ever since. They haven't been in the top 4 since then. But in the season afterwards, where they qualified for the Champions League, they actually went the furthest out of any English club that season. I remember they got to the quarterfinals. They almost beat Atletico Madrid and got to the semis. And I remember watching that game against Atleti, and I was like, cheering these guys on, because I wanted them to win. I really did. And I think they just became like the nation's second team. Like, it doesn't matter who you support. Your second team was probably going to be Leicester. My point is, anything is possible. And this man and the team he built around the club has proven that. And Mr. Srivaddhanaprabha, yes, he was a billionaire. Yes, he was in charge of a duty-free empire. But he seemed like a good human being. Like, he would do things out of his way for the fans of the club, for the people in the area, for the city as a whole. I just read something a couple of days ago that he donated millions of pounds to hospitals and children's hospitals. He really cared about the city itself. And maybe some owners should take a leaf out of his book, because it's not just about the money at the end of the day. And that was the one thing which he always said, it's not about the money. The money doesn't matter. As in, if you have to put more money into the club, it doesn't matter. We want to make something great. And they definitely did that. I saw the scenes and they were horrendous. But I didn't want to talk about that. I just wanted to talk about the good he's done for his city, for the club, and for football as a whole. And the impact and lasting impact he will have had in the, you know, for future generations of football. I'm a Spurs fan, as you guys know, and really it doesn't matter who you're a fan of or where you live. This is a guy who changed the country in one way or another. He did. He had a hand in changing culture in this country for the good. And I really hope he won't be forgotten, because there's so much shit in the world all the time from one side or another, and someone's doing something stupid to someone else, and one people's being affected by another people, and those people are affecting those people. Just sometimes you just need to take a step back, you know, and realize, shit, we're all just human, aren't we? Really, we're all gonna die at the end of the day. So maybe just make the most of the time you're here, and don't just fight all the time. In general, just calm the fuck down, everyone. But it is what it is, you know. Just my condolences to the family, friends, and the pilot as well. I read something about him, and he actually probably saved a lot of people's lives in doing what he did. He redirected the plane when it was coming down away from civilians, and he did what he needed to do in that moment. And it's unfortunate that no one survived that crash. Just don't be so angry with everyone, guys. I think this shows that, like, 1 minute you're just having a football game, the next minute it's just over, you know? Just see ya. Love you. Love you. Just concentrate on the things that are important. Forget everything else. Anyway, guys, I'll see you next time. Don't really feel like doing a skadoosh, not gonna lie. Doesn't really feel like that type of moment, so I'm not gonna do it. But I'll see you next time.